power, no matter what. Episode 3. Intolerance. Satya and Saiku feel uncertain without a job. Julian invites Saiku to a demonstration at the public square. A peaceful gathering pro-minorities and undocumented immigrants causes. Julian, besides being gay, is also undocumented as he was brought to the country by his parents when he was a baby. As fate would have it, Satya attends the demonstration as well with her best friend, Takari. He's a black gay young man who is very lighthearted. He jokes around all the time and is immediately loved by all who meet him. Takari is also fiery and feisty. A brawl ensues between a so-called white nationalist and Takari. Even though he does not know Takari, Julian jumps into the fight and they are both being beat up pretty badly. Satya notices what is going on and jumps into the fight as well. She is a top-notch martial artist and takes over the situation, starting to subdue the so-called nationalist and his friends. Saiku is coming back from getting snacks and jumps into the fight as well, but his intention is to stop it. In the process, he puts himself in harm's way to protect Satya from a rubber bullet, which knocks him out. Police arrive and the fight breaks off. Saiku recovers consciousness inside the police van. Satya, Takari, Julian, and him are being taken to the police station with the nationalist. Julian is tending to Takari's wounds. Satya thanks Saiku for taking the rubber bullet for her. He thanks her for defending their friends. Electric sparks fill the air. Saiku talks to the so-called white nationalist. His name is Aitan. Saiku asks him if he's okay while examining his wounds. He explains the inability of minorities, in most cases, to have a say in their situation. Aitan is going through a horrible time. He was laid off and lost his house and family to the recent economic depression. Even though he is fully aware of the faults of government and tyranny of corporate rule, Aitan has been convinced through propaganda and truly believes that the minorities and undocumented immigrants are at fault. Saiku explains that it's in fact the corporate ruling elite playing the divide and conquer card super effectively who is at fault, and that all go through the same plight regardless of race or origin. They seem to reach an understanding. The other three are dumbfounded at how easy it had been to communicate. They all agreed to stay in touch.
Are we intolerant or are Intolerance, which do we choose? Make a conscious effort or else we lose!
Right or wrong, that's not the point at all. Tolerance, intolerance, which do we choose? Make a conscious effort or else we lose. Right or wrong, tolerance, intolerance, which do we choose? Make a conscious effort or else we lose. Tolerance, intolerance, which do we choose? Make a conscious effort or else we lose. Tolerance, intolerance, which do we choose?
Keep your cool.
To be continued. Episode 4. Go for it.